Thank you for having us.
We're all so excited for this movie. People obviously know you from Mr. Robot. You won an Emmy. Willem, fans recognize you from The Tourist. Joe, you were in the original Jurassic Park and The Pacific, one of my favorites.
Yes, with this guy.
With you guys together, I think we took a
Yes,
photo.
yes.
One of the best war biopics of all time. I mean, just such a huge fan of that as well. But you were all Queen fans. Can you tell us your earliest memory of Queen?
Yeah, go ahead. What's your...
Well, I had an older brother, and he was like a huge Queen fan. So he introduced me to all the records, and you know, we used to sit at home and learn all of the words to all of the songs. So that was my introduction to it. And now, yeah, there I am playing Brian May. Weird.
Yeah, Bohemian Rhapsody was the very first song I ever downloaded on Napster.
Throwback.
So I am a fugitive. Hopefully the statute of limitations has expired.
I believe it has.
Cannot do that anymore.
Don't tell Brian or Roger, I think that's probably,
Yeah.
remember Wayne's World?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The headbanging scene?
yes.
Yeah. And there we go.
Yes.
And that guy's fuse, he throws up. I remember that movie.
And Mike Myers actually has a pretty great scene-stealing cameo in this film.
There he is.
Yeah.
So, Rami, you have transformed yourself in this film into Freddie Mercury. Tell us how you did that.
I watched all the footage that you can possibly watch on YouTube, and then I thought, I have to find a way to be as spontaneous as he was on stage, because he wasn't choreographed. Every time he went out there, he just got a vibe from the audience, and he did it. He did whatever, he never knew where he was going to go. And so I worked with a movement choreographer who helped me do, articulate his hand gestures, the way he moves his mouth, every footstep, every dance move.
Well, Gwillem, you play guitarist Brian May, who was very involved, apparently, in this project. He even let you borrow some of his original outfits for the film. I loved your hair. What was his reaction when he saw you?
It was quite a surreal moment. He knocked on my trailer door, and he opened the door, and it was the first time he'd seen me in the full get-up, the full wig and everything. And he was seeing a younger version of himself. He was going into this strange little time warp, and he just looked at me with this sense of awe.
Wow.
That lasted for about 3 minutes. And then he came up to me and just started adjusting my wig and said, no, actually, the fringe was a little bit longer. There you go.
Yeah.
And now, Joe, what did you do to look like the bassist?
I remember when I was first told, you look a lot like John Deacon. I did a little Google search, and then I immediately called my mother. I said, Mom, you have some explaining to do. Where were you in 1983?
Yeah.
What was happening?
It was uncanny.
Because this guy looks exactly like me. It was, so yeah, that was sort of the easy part. And then, we worked with some great people to have. I had 5 different wigs. I had a perm. Oh, there's me getting my perm.
That's
my
perm.
goodness.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Which Joe doesn't realize.
Yeah, no, I didn't realize that perm stood for permanent. Because I'm an idiot.
Committed answer. You're an idiot,
So
but you're
yeah, because I said it on the day. I was like, so what? This like washes out in like 7 days. They're like, oh no.
So, Freddie Mercury was basically a larger-than-life gay icon, I would say.
Yes.
I mean, he was everything to everybody, but he was a gay icon. And the movie touches on his homosexuality a bit, but not that much. Was there a decision made to not go there? He did die of AIDS in 1991.
Yeah.
It was kind of glossed over a little bit. What do you say to that?
There is definitely a story there we could have delved even deeper into. I don't think it's glossed over. I think there's some poignant moments.
Yeah.
Especially, he talks about not wanting to be a poster boy for the disease. He wants to make music, and I think that he's a revolutionary because he lived his most authentic life. Little do people know that he did have a 6-year relationship with a woman who he called the love of his life, who is the only person who knows where his ashes are, and who he was engaged to. Put a ring on that finger, and then discovered, yeah, he was bisexual,
Complicated.
was gay. He is definitely a gay icon and a hero for everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we go, I just want to talk to you, Joe. You and I are, can I say friends now?
Yes, I would love to say that.
We have a very unique and dark connection. Your dad, Joe, passed away from the same glioblastoma brain cancer that my dad did.
Yeah.
And it was really soon, right before my dad did. I'm sorry. Every time I think I've stopped crying about this, I just keep crying. But I read a Facebook post you put up after your father passed that really gave me great comfort. And I think it was so beautiful. And you talked about how it's a privilege to take care of our fathers in that state. And I just want to thank you. And I just want to know what you would say to people right now with this opportunity for the same people that are our age, taking care of our dads the way that we had to.
Boy, well, first of all, you know, I'm so glad that I brought you some comfort, but you brought me comfort because I posted that the day after my dad died. And then for you to share that with, like, on this platform, which is huge, I got, you know, thousands of messages from people who were dealing with the same thing, either them directly or their family member. They were taking care of a family member. And that brought me so much comfort because there was such a sense of community there, and because it's so lonely, as of course you know. So, for people who are dealing with it, I don't know, like a lot of it was watching my dad decline and him just being like, on so much medication that like made him sort of loopy, and then watch the physical and mental decline was hell at times. It is a hell I would go through again in a heartbeat if I could have him back. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so don't take a day for granted, even if it's difficult, even if you feel like you just can't go on or you just can't take seeing someone you love go through something like that. Just keep caring for them and just make every moment last. And I have to say, I was making this movie when this was all going on with my dad, so this movie will always be very special. I got to FaceTime him every single night from London. It gave him something to be hopeful about. It gave him something to be excited to talk to me about. And I never would have gotten through that experience, though, without these guys here, sitting next to me. And you really lean on your friends and your family and know that, you know, you'll get through it together, and just give all of the love to whoever is suffering that you can every single day, and you just won't have any regrets.
Thank you. I'm sorry to turn your beautiful, fun movie into something sad.
No, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you very much for coming. Our thanks to Rami, Joe, and Gwilym. Bohemian Rhapsody is in theaters today, and we'll be right back.